we saw the original footage of what happened with Cassie, and we know that's a power play with people like Diddy, people in position, people who have trickled into position of power and abused it in some way, shape, or form, and how they got there. I had to sit down with Olay and friends, and we kind of went through that as well. But I wanted to mention that because you talk about power and how it plays on, how you got there. Because we got to understand how they did get there. As much as we can hate a person, there is something that got them there. And people played a part in it, enabling all those type of things as well. And the person being wanting to be, after they recognize their issue, continuing to be evil's choice. That's their choice. And not seeking out the proper help. But I say all that to say, in the recent days after we talked about the footage itself, an apology came out from Diddy. In the apology that Diddy gave after the footage of Cassie, singer, model, actress Cassie, when that footage came out where we saw her run into the elevator, looks like in what was an escape from Diddy years ago. I believe it was to 2016, 2018, 2016, 16. One of those years, I want to make sure I get it right, but her running to her escape, not being able to do so because Diddy comes out, drags her, stomps her in the face twice, throws a vase at her. All that can be seen in the video, and that was actually detailed in her allegations in the lawsuit that she did against him. And with that, we saw it did verbatim from what she said to the footage. And him paying them $50K off to buy the tape. And then the tape still leaked years later for such a time as this. But he then went to his social media, and I'm actually shocked that he went to his social media to offer an apology. But the apology was for none other than the public and not exactly towards Cassie. Let's not forget, he said that it never happened.
That's right.
He said the allegations were untrue. The truth will come out. Everything she's saying is false. And highlight this keyword here. He stated it was a money grab.
Oh, he said, I didn't hear that part. Wow.
His lawyer said it was a money grab. Yes, they did. If it was such a money grab, why did you settle immediately? Let's take a listen.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life, but sometimes you got to do that. I was fucked up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy, going to rehab. Had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
Our chat room is off the chain.
It is. Look, every single chat that's connected is off the chain. It's crazy.
Jeez, my God.
Yeah. Seeing that kind of triggered me. It made me sad, not for him. It made me sad for every woman who experiences a man like this. And I am somebody who believes that I'm not the author and creator and the person that's going to literally tell you that you don't deserve any grace or forgiveness. But there are people that we have to know the difference with. People who have hurt you, hurt people, hurt themselves, and are actually doing the work, not waiting until they get caught. After it's one thing when they say, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do.
Come on.
When you know, baby, it's up to you. And you knew time and time again were countless stories and things that come out about how you abused your power. When people have told you you're doing this, you've done this, you were hurting people. And all of a sudden, now when the footage comes out after you said it wasn't real, the stories if you go on his page, it still says the truth will come out. That's still on there. It literally says that you have stated that you didn't do those things. Then this is just a piece, a little bit, 5%, maybe 1% of what was said that you did on video. And it came out detailed exactly the way what it was, what we saw was detailed exactly the way Cassie said it. And you said it was a lie. But I say this to say, you're not the person that people should go ahead and say, oh, let's forgive and give grace. I believe, but that's not me. I'm not God. But for me, I say that because there are people who are evil like that and continue to do the evil until they are placed in front of a camera and they are realizing this can affect everything that I've sold my soul for, that I've become so evil for. This will affect every single thing. And now I got to jump on camera and give them something that they were waiting for. And it's something that I'm saying, and his apology, and it was PR.
Yeah.
Because it did not give remorseful. It got, damn, I was caught and I was messed up. I can say, yes, you were a very effed up person at that time, but you continued to do that. And this wasn't the only person that you did it with. And people have told you how effed up you were. There are other instances. Shaka Khan's daughter went under his apology
Yes,
video
I saw that.
and stated, she's like, I remember when you were cursing at my mother and you walked into my mother's face and you were cursing her out. And my then 19-year-old brother came up and like tried to protect his mom. And you got your security guards to beat that boy so bad, so badly, so badly. And you went on about your business because that's how you abuse your power. So to see this, how you can talk to women and verbally abuse women, and now it's out that you physically abuse women more than a few accounts online by people that you work closely with have stated that you are this type of person. Even a woman that you share a child with has put out online that she knows you need help and hope that you get it without detailing what happened with her. So everybody can't be lying, but hearing it and seeing it brought me to a place, a triggering place. I've witnessed that physical abuse. I know that it could be a cultural thing. I know that it can be so many different things that people will say it's okay. But now we're at a stage, I'm like, we should be able to have these conversations and say these are not okay from the hands of a woman or the hands of a man. The patriarchal system here will try to give excuses to why this person is like that. Why did she wear that? Why did she get out like that? That's what he said. Time tells the truth. But why is she like that? Why did she stay? What does she really want? Why did she never go away?
What was she wearing?
What was she wearing? The domestic violence counselor was with us. He happens to be Haitian. And you guys will watch this on the Ole and Friends episode that drops this Sunday. But a domestic violence expert was with us, and he said, that getaway, that moment that you're getting away, the in between that time is when that person is trying to figure out, if this person trying to get away and finds ways to bring you back in, and you are trying to save your own life. The planning of the getaway is literally you trying to save your own life. That day you decide to leave, you may not. He says people sometimes don't make it. They go get the restraining order, and where they have to go to court together, they often don't leave the court parking lot because the partner kills them in the court parking lots. That's more often than what you know. And that's what the expert was talking about, dealing with a lot of DV, domestic violence cases. And this is one of the all-time scariest things, not just to see because at a celebrity place, but in where the people have so much power.
That's right.
Where they have so much power and money to try to make things go away. And you have no voice. And when you do speak out, they if it was such a money grab, she wouldn't have settled out of court. She would have pushed for more. She would have did everything in her power. She just wanted to tell her story, get that out there, because she knows that there are other people that this will happen to under Diddy. When I go back and I look at Young Miami's tweets, somebody put this in perspective. When I go back and I look at Young Miami's tweets, where she was going back and forth, and I believe it was with one of Diddy's, his latest relationship with the mother of his youngest child, Love. And what we see there is Young Miami responding and said, one time she tweeted this out, Diddy would have had you on your knees eating my whatever, whatever it was, but something aggressive and over sexualized. And I'm like, now seeing that, and it's like, I'm pretty sure Young Miami knows what Diddy is capable of.
Hmm.
The power, the aggression, utilizing sex
It's a weapon.
as a weapon, and using his power, weaponizing that against women, putting women against each other, um, trapping women, all because of his fear of rejection, and all of these other things. And people allowing him to be this powerful is also problematic. Let's go into the Christian aspect of it, and I'll give it to you, Ben. He says, "Oh, I want to search for God." And this is my problem with that. You went straight to the blackest. Kanye did this too, and not because Kanye was abusive, but he needed the world to accept him again, some place where he can like lean his head against. And what people do is go straight to the church, the
Black church.
black church, and they went to who? Bishop T.D. Jakes. They went
Get
straight
ready,
to
get
Bishop
ready.
T.D. Jakes, right? And T.D. Jakes made it so much so that he allowed P. Diddy, Sean Puffy Combs, Love. He allowed Puffy to make it a whole televised situation. This is my mentee. I am his mentor in Christ. I don't know, seen TD Jakes televangelize and all these things, and I ain't never seen him do this major rollout for a mentee and go to his parties where there is all things where TD Jakes is telling us not to be at. It was very confusing for me. But just it goes to shows power moves.
Yeah.
And then being in the church and being accepted wash away his sin, where he doesn't have to necessarily repent. He just has the biggest Christian black bishop in this nation right here on his side. So if he has him and he has the church on his side, then how can he not win? And his sins are forgiven. But my thing is, he wanted to step in the place of God. He being Diddy. And I've said this countless times. Y'all got to look at how he changed his name to Love. And then attach himself to the church. And biblically, because we saw Kanye do this as well. Kanye literally attached himself to the church, took the church, made it it's like I said before, years ago, church is kind of culty already, but took the church,
Made it
and
even
put
more.
it in they're wearing a unison color. They're on the mountain. They're outside of the church house itself. And started going out to far away lands. It's giving where the people drunk that Kool-Aid, remember? And
Yum.
it was giving that. It's you have that longing for power. And when you can't have it over here, you're going to go where you're accepted, to vulnerable people who are naturally prone to feel like he sinned. So many people in the Bible have sinned. People in our own lives have done the darkest things, but they're our family, they're our friends, and we want to forgive them. So he went over to the church where he knows that comes naturally. That's what Kanye did, and Diddy did that. And that longing to get that power back, to get that acceptance, that repentance from people where he doesn't have to do any work, because that's what you need to do is work. And he didn't want to do it. He wanted that easy forgiveness. And he used his power, he used his money, and he attached himself to the biggest bishop. And he changed his name to Love because biblically, the definition of God is love. And Diddy changed his name to Love, wanting to be the highest. To me, this is my breakdown of it. The untouchable, wanting to be the highest, represent that. He wants to be God himself. And in his, in his power, how he addresses people and how he believes that he is God. We've seen him for years on television. And sometimes it would make us uncomfortable to the fact of these people. And yes, it was entertainment for us, but for them, like, just have build people up to break them down. We watch him do that with countless people, bands that he created, where he builds them up to just break them down and never speak to them again, never give them anything. Then what he did with Shine, where he had to take the gun charge for Diddy, stay in jail, and then be extradited to a country that he didn't know for a while, and head back over there and relive his life. So what he did there, Diddy has done a lot to people, different bands, how he's talked to women, and from the stories that we've heard that we didn't get videos of in his previous relationships with his children's mother, and that's mothers, and that's what we're just seeing, and his longing for younger women and to have them for such a long time, and then they finally break free. That's their stories, and when they break free, they're thriving in such a different way than they were with Sean Puffy Combs. Diddy Love.
Breck, I just got to go back to the fact that he had the unmitigated gall, the caucasity, because we don't do this in the black community, to run up on Shaka Khan
Mm.
and say a very negative thing to her. Now, I'm not lifting Shaka Khan up as an idol. I'm lifting her up as a black woman who has done amazing things in the very industry that Diddy was coming up in. The lack of respect that he had, to the point where he had her son beat down, that shows me that it wasn't about him being a hurt individual. It was always about the fact that he got some power, and that power convinced him that he was somebody more than he was.
Mm-hmm.
He really believed that he was some type of black musical messiah, and that gave him the right to do and speak and treat people any kind of way. And what does it do, especially in a nation like America? Let's be real. This planet, I can't even just say America. One thing this planet does is sexually assault. Full stop. That's what it does. It does it to children. It does it to women. It does it to men. And it definitely does it to anyone who wants to get a piece of that pie, wants to get a piece of Hollywood. You going to have to put out some stuff that you don't want to, because that's how the entire system is crafted. Diddy got a lane in that space. He got power in that space. He got authority in that space. And what did he do? He just, I mean, he destroyed so many people, every person that came in contact with him. When I was reading Mace's book years ago, like this was back when I was like not even out of college yet. I was like, well, God dog, I'm kind of glad that I never got a chance to actually work with Diddy. Because I like to have your entire life change into something that you don't even recognize. And then the next thing that Mace said was that he committed every sin possible while he was working with Diddy.
Okay.
Every sin possible. I mean, I'm gonna take the man at his word, and I don't even care about all the sexual sins, like every sin, Mace. And he had to escape himself.
Okay.
So it wasn't just the sexual abuse towards women.
Mm-hmm.
It was a sexual abuse towards men. It was a power play. And
Mm-hmm.
the sad thing about it is that spirit ain't going nowhere. It's still in some of those power players that got power right now.
The work that we're doing here is not going to stop when it comes to these type of discussions. It's going to be for us and by us here on this platform when the media is telling us to look the other way. Your support is what helps us move forward. Join patreon.com/like it or not. Help us grow.